Hi Quilters, I'm Erica, AccuQuilt's Corporate Marketing Specialist.
And I'm Pam, AccuQuilt's Cutting Expert.
All right Quilters, we're square dancing today.
We are, and we're here today to show you how to make our gorgeous rose trellis wall hanging that's hanging right behind us. It's like a breath of sweet spring air, isn't it, Erica?
It is. And it's such a quick project that we wanted to share it with all of you. Now it pairs the Go 7-inch finish die with the Go Drunkard's Path 3.5-inch finish die and just a couple of strips, so let's get started.
Okay, first of all, I have so many things about this project. But first, we're going to show you how easy it is to cut out with our dies. With our Go dies, you can cut up to 6 layers of 100% cotton, so we could actually cut all of our focus squares in just one pass.
That's right. Now, the first thing that most quilters comment on when they look at a die like this is that the shape is on the die board at an angle. Well, we place the shapes with crosswise blades on the die at an angle to give our fabric a smooth ride and get the best cut possible.
Right. Imagine driving over a speed bump in your car. When you hit both tires on that bump, there's that jarring effect, right? But think about driving over that same speed bump with just one wheel at a time. That's exactly how the die is designed. So those crosswise blades go through the rollers at an angle, just like one tire at a time.
That's right. Now the other part of that equation for the perfect cut is to make sure that your tight lengthwise grain is lined up parallel to the lengthwise blade as it goes through the cutter.
Right, so we're going to show you how that works. So if we had our salvage here, this would be the lengthwise grain parallel to the salvage. But we've cut the salvage off, so look, low and wonky, lots of stretch. Here's that lengthwise grain, high and tight. Ready?
Yep.
Nice and tight.
There you go.
So we're going to just do that tug test. All right, quilters, so we're going to lay our fabric just over the shape. We don't want it parallel to the die board. We're going to waste fabric.
That's right.
And we need 2 more blocks for our project. So we're just going to fan fold back and forth. Now, don't be worried about that little extra fabric.
That's right.
It's only going to cut where there's fabric and a mat. So I'm actually going to take my little fabric and tuck it right next to the die.
Perfect.
All right, now this is on a 10 by 10 die board.
Right.
So it'll fit through our Go Big or Studio Cutter with the appropriate adapter. Make sure you use a 10 by 10 cutting mat.
That's right.
Look how fast that came together. Give it a little love, slide our mat, don't lift. And now look, we have perfect 7.5-inch squares and we didn't cut the edge.
And we've got some extra. Now the next part of the block is to make the Go Drunkard's Path. So let's take a look at how that goes together. So the Drunkard's Path square has 2 pieces. It's got the outer corner and that inner quarter circle.
Right.
Right?
Now, sometimes quilters are afraid of sewing curves like this. So we want to show you how easy it is. Look at these pieces. There are notches.
And this is what makes all the difference. Okay, so when we look at those notches, that's how we're going to know to line these up perfectly. And yes, we have pins on our fabric, and I'm going to use pins to put them together.
Super cute.
So I always like to have my smile on top. So that's going to be this piece. I'm going to put them together, and I like to put a pin right at that notch, then line up the beginning with one pin and the end with a pin. And just guide your fabric through. If at some point you start to get a little bit of fabric kind of buckling or a little bit of a gap, you can drop your needle down, and I'm going to do that right now. Let's see. Drop your needle down, raise your foot, and just release that tension that's building up, and then you're going to have a smooth ride the rest of the way around your shape. And just think about it as guiding it through. And that went so well, we're going to do another. Okay.
Perfect.
So that was so easy. Let me give you these.
Perfect, and I'm going to press them. And then do you want to talk about how we would cut our squares? We have a couple of options.
Right, so this is, for this pattern, we are going to need squares that cut at 4 inches. So they finish at 3.5 inches to coordinate with our 3.5 inch finished drunkard's path. So we could use what we did to cut this was use a 4-inch strip cutter.
Right.
Okay. And we cut a 4-inch strip. Then we turned the strip sideways and went ahead and cut that again. That gave us perfect 4-inch squares.
Yep, we cut them at 90 degrees, and we have tons of videos on how to use our strip dies, so if you need to do that. All right, so now hold this up so we can see our block.
Together, we're ready to go ahead, and these are already pressed. I'm going to take the pressed ones maybe.
There you go.
And let's see, I want to lay these out right.
Yes.
So they're going to go together like this. You can press those and talk about that while I sew these together.
Excellent. So you're going to find that with Drunkard's Path and our curves, it's going to kind of naturally want to go a direction. In this case, they're kind of towards the blue. And look how easy and beautiful those came out. And I would always give them a really good press with my big iron before I sewed my pieces together.
That's a great tip. I'll let you press.
Perfect. And I'm going to press in opposite directions. So these are pressed towards the center. So I'm going to press them away so our seams will nest. But this row here is the same as the top row.
Right.
Right. And then you would sew this row together as well. So let me just press those and we can add it to the bottom of our project. This is such a quick, easy project.
Right, and you don't want to be scared by those curves because look how easy those were.
All righty.
Okay, and these are going to line up right along here and here.
Ta-da!
There we go. We only need 2 more blocks, and we're going to have those all done and be ready to put it together.
Now you would finish your project by adding the sashing and cornerstones. Be sure to read the pattern to see how to make those. Give it a good press and your top is complete.
That's right. Pin or baste it together with your backing and your batting and quilt as desired. Finish it off with your favorite binding method and your Go Rose Trellis Wall Hanging is complete.
Quilters, we know you're going to enjoy using the Go 7-inch finished square die in your projects, and we hope you share your inspiration with us on all of our social media platforms, because at AccuQuilt we help you cut time.
So you can quilt more.